Hey, welcome everyone to a new video. I hope you've all been having fun practicing single crochet and chain stitches. Today I'm going to talk about some crochet abbreviations and teach you a couple new stitches. In order for those new stitches, so you'll need some worsted weight yarn, remember that weight number 4, and a crochet hook. I'll be using a 5mm hook. So let's start with some abbreviations. So a lot of what I'll see, because I tend to work in the round with what I do, a big one to start stuff off is either MR or MC. It stands for magic ring or magic circle. That's how stuff that is worked in the round starts. Typically either that or there is another option, but we won't go there for right now. Another common abbreviation you're going to see is CH. That's going to be for your chain stitches. Let's see, what else do we got? Slip stitch, SLST. Kind of when you need like a nice clean edge, or you're kind of finishing something off and you need to just tie off one more stitch and you don't want a full crochet stitch there. Next up, you're going to have SC for single crochet, the stitch that we learned last week. What we'll learn today is HDC, which is a half double crochet. And then we also have, that we'll learn today, DC, your double crochet. Won't get to this today, but there is occasionally you'll see maybe TC. That is going to be a treble or triple crochet. Not used super often, but I've seen it from time to time in stuff I've worked on, so it does pop up. Something very important for working in the round, INC is going to be for your increases. And then you also see DEC for decreases. If you're working in the round, and especially on plushies, this is usually going to mean an invisible decrease. And we'll eventually learn what that stitch is, so don't worry about it for now. If your pattern's referring to decrease as an invisible decrease, you may see SC to TOG. That is going to be single crochet, 2 together, which can also be more of a common decrease. And then other abbreviations I work with a lot is either BO or bob. That is going to be your bobble stitch. Great for making little toes, or I've done it for a belly button before, or noses. Can make kind of really fun. It's a more of a 3D effect on your crochet. This is obviously not every possible crochet abbreviation you could see, but it is a lot more common ones, or at least the ones that I see very commonly in the patterns that I read. If you've seen an abbreviation that you have no idea what it means, pop it down in the comments. I'll see if I can figure it out for you. Or what are some that you've seen that I didn't touch? All right, who's ready to crochet? So I've got a couple rows of single crochet that I've worked, very similar to what we did in last video. I have worked my final crochet in that last stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to our next row and start half double crochet. So to do that, to start my next row, I'm actually going to chain 1, chain 2, and then turn. So for half double crochet, you're going to start with actually putting the yarn over your hook. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into that first stitch. Make sure you're under both loops. Yarn over the hook. Pull through. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over one more time. Pull through all 3 loops. And we'll do that again. So yarn over the hook, insert into your next stitch, yarn over the hook again, grab on, pull through 3 loops, yarn over through all 3 loops. And that is going to be your half double crochet. Fun part about half double crochet is there's a lot of different ways you can work it. You can work it in, you know, just into the top of the stitch. Let me get to the end here and I will show you some other options of working with a half double crochet. All right, so when you're working with half double crochet, so now let's kind of look at how this crochet stitch is set up. So you have 1, 2, 3 loops you're working with. Kind of point them out a little bit better. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. If you're just doing straight up half double crochet, you're going to work in those top 2 loops. There's also, I've worked on patterns where you'll come below even that first loop all the way down. Kind of gives it a little bit of a tighter look. It looks really cool overall. And then another option for a half double crochet, so we'll loop over, is to work in that back loop. So you'll skip the first, second, come back to that third loop. So I'm actually working on a project right now using that back third loop. So it gives you this kind of cool, like almost a faux knit look. This is a scarf I'm making for my daughter. But just to kind of show you how that's working out, when you see several rows of a half double crochet in the back loop worked. So I'll do my half double crochet in that back, see 1, 2, back loop. What that's doing is that's pushing those first 2 loops forward. And then I'm working this in the round, which is why it's getting that kind of faux knit look. If I was doing this back and forth, it wouldn't quite look the same. But basically to show that it does, that there is a lot of play you can have there with a half double crochet. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of this row after my 2 chains for starting a new row. And now we'll do our double crochet. You're going to start the same as your half double with yarn over, work into those top 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through. So now we've got those 3. Half double, with a half double, you would pull through all 3. With this one, you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2, leaving 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over again and pull through. That's where your double comes through. You are pulling through twice. So we'll do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. You'll get a much more distinct bar look where you're seeing definitely where your stitches are happening. Very simple. Once you practice it, it'll come no problem. You kind of have some of the same play with a double crochet that you do with half double crochet. Let me get to the end and I will show you some options that kind of give you fun looks with double crochet. All right, last stitch. We're going to do our chain 2 to get us up to the next row. Turn. So now with our double crochet, you can see defined post all the way across your work. So I'm going to work 1 double crochet first before I show you some fun you can have with this stitch. So I'm going to start a double crochet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work under the front post or in front of the front post. There's several different ways I've seen patterns refer to this as. But what they're basically talking about is they're going to go, instead of in the stitch like you normally would, you're going to go under this post. And then still get your yarn over, pull through, loop over, 2 loops, yarn over again. And then what you could do, you can either keep doing that and you'll wind up with these very defined 3D extra lines across your work, or you can, with the next one, go yarn over and work in from behind. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing my hook to the back of the work so that I can come in. So the post is now over my hook. Still going to yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. Once you kind of get through it, it gets kind of a more of a waffly look to it when you've done several rows. So just some kind of unique ways to work with, I didn't even catch all my yarn, to work with a double crochet. There's lots of other things you can do with it. I don't work with a lot of like blanket looks or whatever, so I don't work with this as often. But then it's fun when you're going back the other way, you switch so that you're working opposite of these, working through the front or the back post, and you get some pretty cool effects out of it instead of just like straight lines across your work. So kind of more of like a basket weave effect. So I hope y'all are enjoying this. I hope you're learning a lot, practicing a lot. Please, please, please ask questions. I want to help you however I can to learn how to crochet because I love it so much. So make sure you like and subscribe so you're not missing out on any content. And of course, like I've mentioned before, please find me on Instagram or down in the comments here if you can attach photos. I'm not sure. Share your progress. I want to see it. I want to see how you guys are doing. Until next time, bye.